Hey, everybody. This is Spencer, and glad to be back with you. I wanted to take just a few moments of your time today and show you a continuation of what we did the other day. If you'll recall, we did a gradient wash exercise. Let me bring that camera up here for you to see it. And we'll talk just a little bit more about that. So there you see it on the screen there. And what we did was just started with a pure tube color over here, and then just worked our way to total transparency over here. We did two different colors, in this case vermilion and a cobalt blue, and then we did a segmented version of that. Really a powerful tool for you. And today we want to build upon that. So what we're going to do today is what I call a duotone or two-tone gradient wash, where we go from pure tube color of one color through a transparency which melds into a transparency and then back to solid tube color of a different color. So you get this nice transition through here. We're going to do it as you see here, just a smooth gradient, and then we'll do it as a segmented. I think you'll find this one's going to be tougher, the segmented one, but I want to show you both of them real quick, and then give you opportunity to do that. So here we go. If you look over here on my right hand side, I think that's going to come up on your screen that way. If you look right over here, I've got this vermilion, and I do have two things of water today. If you watched the other day, you know that I only had one, and so my water was always contaminated. So normally I'm not too concerned about that, but this is just pure red, and it's an intense red that dominates. So for an exercise like this, it's better to have two different water buckets or whatever, water jars, whatever you've got. And they, you can clean it out over here in the dirty one, and then the fresh water retains its integrity. So let's start out just a very saturated tube color here. Again, this is a vermilion color. Not sure of the brand. I'm not overly brand specific, but I do want you to start out and have plenty of moisture there, so you can see by the gloss on there how wet that is. And what I'm going to do is rinse that brush out and grab me a little bit more. It's diluted down somewhat, and as I work my way to the right, I'm just going to continue to dilute it down. So we go something like that right there. Dilute it down a little bit more. And just keep working your way across there. Now, we don't have much of a transition right here, so I'm going to work on that. I'm just going to spin this around like that. Come back in here with some more red, start up here at the top, and just kind of add to it as I work my way down, and let it move around on its own. There's a lot of different ways to do this. No absolutely right way or wrong way. Again, it's just an exercise teaching you how to get that nice transition that you'll use in sky paintings and things like that. So right now I'm just shooting for basically what I did in the first exercise, just trying to get it to almost total transparency there. And that's a pretty nice gradient. This on screen, it looks like this right here is maybe a demarcation point, but because this is so wet, you can see how wet that is. I'm going to have plenty of time. Now, if I want it to be a little more intense here, I'm going to grab just a little more pure color and drop that in right there. Just like that. And then again, more moisture, and just start the process of bringing it down, helping it crawl down there. One of the reasons that's kind of not transitioning there is because there's a little hump in the paper because it's wet. So, but again, like I've told you, it's not about perfection. It's just about learning. Okay, so I'm going to take and tilt this here like so. Tilt that like this. Try to get that red moving right there so I get a nice transition. You can see down here it's really crawling, and that's okay. We're going to be introducing some blue to it here in just a little bit. Tilt it this way. Tilt it back like that. Okay, so while that is still good and wet, I'm going to clean my brush out, get some clean water here, get some blue, straight tube color, and introduce that over here, much like I did up with the red there. Okay, now notice I'm not engaging the end of that there yet. I want to keep those apart for just a moment here. And then I'm just gonna, this is a little bit lighter, and I want it to start introducing now. And as I go down, it just naturally sucks the pigment out of it, and then it dilutes the blue, so more of the red influences it. Lots of moisture. A little hard to get a grip on that right there. I'm going to come back here. More moisture. Build the blue color up. Just keep adding it. Little smaller bits. Like I said, there's just all kinds of ways to do this. There is no right or wrong way. You just want to get a nice transition, and whatever it takes to get that. Right now I'm just putting moisture in it so that I can get it to flow, because I want this blue to come all the way down here, and then I want it to go back. You can see right here where it's lower, I've got that streak of red. So we're just going to let that red run right down in there. And as it gets farther down, it's going to get weaker and weaker. Now I'm making everything run down this way, just letting it paint itself. Try to keep that on the camera where you can see it. So you see how fluid that is. Starting to let it get down in here, give it a little more impact. The blue should go almost all the way to here to some degree, and the red should go almost all the way down to here. So now I'm going to tilt it this way. You can see how that's running right there. Because it's so wet, we're getting a deep violet right in through here. When it gets right about here, I'm going to stop and tilt it so it runs this way. And these are all things that you will do when you're painting a sky wash. In some upcoming videos, we'll be working on that. So I want you to practice these, and then when we get ready to do the skies, you'll know what I'm wanting out of you. Just keep working it back and forth. It's kind of a time-consuming process, but it gets you in such a beautiful, beautiful wash. Letting that creep down farther into that. It's funny, down here it seems like almost a brown. Up here it's a violet. And there's a little bit of an art to it. But the more you practice, the easier it is. You can see this is moving slower because that pigment there it's thick and it's starting to dry a little bit. But just by virtue of the moisture that's in it, you can see this is still flowing really strong here. I'm going to bring this red trail all the way down to right about here. Then I'll tip it that way. You can see this is losing its shine right down here. So the once that gloss goes away, it's not gonna flow much, and it will try to blossom on you too. So just a few more moments on this, and then I'll start in on the segmented portion. It's interesting. Every one of them turns out different too. This one here, I did basically the same way, but this has got a little more pigment in it than this one did. So it's a little paler, and it seems like a smoother transition. And this is what you get when you're doing live too. You never know how it's going to turn out. But I think you'll get the point of it here. So I'm just going to let that go ahead and dry. And I want to get started on this one here so I can finish this up, because I don't want to keep you here too long. So let's do the same thing. Clean our brush. Start with pure red. And I'm going to start right down here. Do a box in here like that, with just almost as intense a red as I can get out of that. Dip it in water and bat the brush just a little bit to knock it down. Dip it again. And that's lightening up awful fast. So what I'm going to do is come in here and pick up some of this red, and at the same time clean up my square a little. Drop a little bit of that in there. Drop a little in here. Come over here. That one there's a little bit darker than it needs to be. And I try to keep them fully segmented, but if they touch, it doesn't matter. So this one I want to be pure blue, so I'm not going to contaminate it with the brush. And I'm just going to basically work my way back and redistribute moisture and pigment, and I should get a nice gradual transition. So as I look at that, that's pretty good. We want to take and clean it up just a little bit so it looks a little prettier. If I can say that, prettier. Plenty of moisture. Clean your brush. Lighten that up a little bit. Add a little bit of moisture to each of these. All right. Now, come in here and get some pure blue and pop that in right here. I had 11 segments across there too, in case any of you were interested in that. And we'll just keep working on this. Okay, now you can see there's a huge contrast right here. So I need more blue in this one. So I just picked up some more tube blue. And put a little more blue in this one, a little more blue in that one, a little more. And it should start to disappear here in a little bit. Just by that, I mean, it'll just start thinning out. Now, just like I did before, you can just take and spin that around, get it going a different direction. Again, since you can see this is moving, that's still wet. Since my board is on an angle, I've got gravity pulling that down, and it's working for me that way. So, and if you want, you can run a hair dryer on it. Keep a hair dryer handy here. And that'll just kind of set it. And that's dry enough now where it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's still got some excess moisture on it, but you can see what it looks like. So this is just a quick little exercise taking you from doing this one color to blending two colors here, and two different approaches to it. One, as I've already said, repetition, they say, is the best way to learn. So if I just keep saying it, it'll soak in. Smooth transitioning gradient there, a segmented transitioning gradient. And so give this little exercise a try. I think you will find it fun, and I think, in my opinion, I think you will learn quite a bit from it. So that's about all I've got for right now. I want to just encourage you to get a hold of me if you have any questions. If you have a question on something you would like to see, put it down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. If there's something you would like me to demonstrate, by all means, go ahead and let me know. I will show you this too. Where is it? Over here. I just saw it in the background here. Okay, so here are a couple examples of where you would utilize this in a painting. Okay, both sky paintings are gradients. This is probably got about 3 or 4 colors in it, but you can see how they transition. And then the other one is just a blue sky transitioning down to a lighter sky there. So that is how we would use this in an actual painting. So again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. And I want to thank you for tuning in, watching. And again, you have yourself a great day. And I'll be back in a few days with another exercise for you. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.